So sometimes one has visitations in one's inner life. And recently I've had such a visitation from a female being who has been haunting my dreams, my meditations, and who I didn't know who it was, except she left me her name. And this name kept resounding in my head. Dolma, Jetsun Dolma. A word, a name. And so I had to look it up. I knew it has the ring of a Tibetan name. And so it turns out Jetsun Dolma is the great female Buddha, the great female Tara. Call it the Tara in Tibetan culture. And the Tara comes in different forms. She comes in different colours, actually. There is white Tara, there is black Tara, there is red Tara, there is yellow Tara, rainbow Tara even, green Tara. And they're all emanations of her bodhisattvic enlightened energy. And they all have different purposes and roles in the world. And it's really a fascinating realm. But what it opens up for me is that this is the stream that is moving humanity into its next phase, into the next epoch. And it's the stream of the divine feminine. That's what it is. And people talk about that, the divine feminine. What is that? What does it mean? Is it something to do with women? Certainly it is to do with women. It is also to do with men. The divine feminine is inside each of us. It's inside everything. It's imbued at every level within creation. And it has this very specific role of transforming the consciousness of the world and the whole. And so it's something to really consider moving forwards, into a new chapter of our evolution, because it's the divine feminine that is going to do the actual activity. It is the ray of active intelligence that will actually create a new world. And how does that happen? Because it's the mother energy. See, and the only way you can really transform a whole species is through mothers, through the mother. You see, the yang has its role. The yang is fire and the yin is water. These are the iconic representations of yin and yang. Or you could say heaven and earth, but for our purposes, fire and water. And so the yin has this quality of surrender, all the watery qualities, gentleness, patience, wisdom. The yang has the quality of action, of passion, of reason. The yin is intuition. It is more mysterious. And so when we've created a world based on the yang, there have been flashes of yin for sure, intuition, that have led to great inventions that have helped us move forward. But essentially we've created a world based on logic and reason. And that's great. It has improved the world in many levels, particularly on the external. But on the internal, not so much. The question of the internal is, how do you feel inside yourself? How is your inner world? How is the shape of your inner world? Are you fulfilled? Are you happy? Are you authentic? These are the questions of the yin. And until our species seriously asks these questions, as seriously as any other question, then we can't create the world that we all dream of, a world of peace. The humans are at peace with each other and with their environment. So the yin, the feminine, this Tara brings this transition. And it will certainly take place strongly through women, through empowered women. And an empowered woman is something extraordinary to behold. And an empowered woman isn't perhaps what many of us might think. You might think an empowered woman is a match for any man, and that's true. But not in the way you think. An empowered woman is not a woman trying to behave like a man to match a man. That's not the case. Because the qualities of the woman, of the yin, are, as I said, their patience, their gentleness. The strength is in the yielding. The strength is in the quality of intuition, which cuts through all the logic and all the busy mind stuff. It's just straight to the core. So women are going to rebuild our world on many levels, and none more so than as mothers, because the mother can shape the child in the womb. You know, when the mother pours her love, her quality of care into that fetus, and she pours it in, and she sculpts this little boy or this little girl. And then what she does is she creates this creature of integrity and beauty. And that's one way in which the world can be transformed. Another is through a much more powerful focus on the yin, on the feminine qualities. Because you might think that they're weak in comparison to the big, showy energy of the yang. You know, the egoic fire that gets things done. Or does it? Actually, often it gets things done, but they're the wrong things. So they cause more chaos. Right? So the yin is the power of softness, the power of waiting, the power of clarity that comes through time. So think about this, you know. If you're a woman, if you're a man, if you've been wronged by someone, if you feel you've been wronged by someone, burn them with the power of your forgiveness. You know, that is your revenge. You know, don't go after them with an energy. Let them go. Love them. You know, the only way that you can be free of someone who's wronged you in some way is to love them and forgive them. And when you forgive them, what you do is you burn them with their own shame. And that's not a negative thing. You know, you let them feel the quality of their shame. You know, because the shame is that they've done something and they need to face up to that. But the only way they're going to face up to it is if they feel the example of your forgiveness, of your love. So that is an example of empowered femininity. And that can be in a man or a woman. It's not about gender. Don't get confused by gender. You know, that's just the equipment. We're talking about the essence. So consider these things as we move forward into this epoch of the empowered feminine, you know, both within the male and within the female. And the male, our job is to support that, to empower that through our support, through our love, through our care, through being available, through being vulnerable and strong at the same time. You know, through being a whole man. You know, and that will allow these empowered women all over the world who are here to begin to reshape our civilization, because their voices are being heard more and more, and as they're heard more and more, balance will return to our societies and our civilizations. And I think that will be an extremely beautiful and powerful time. Jetsun Dolma. we welcome you.